In a wild 10-9 slugfest with the Athletics. Tonight, good friends turn into friendly foes as Scott Kazmir battles his former team for the first time since being traded in July. Astros baseball is next on Root Sports. From the HOU in Oakland, California, Root Sports brings you Houston Astros baseball. It's game 2 of the series, and it comes with a great pitching matchup featuring the Astros' Scott Kazmir against Sonny Gray of the A's. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. We are just embarking on this long road trip, and it's hot here on the West Coast. Yesterday, the bats were pretty hot. 9 runs for the Astros, but allowing 9 walks to the Oakland A's and 5 of them scoring. Tough way to have a game get away.
Yeah, who would have anticipated a slugfest between the Oakland A's and the Houston Astros? Astros, obviously, we know they drive the ball out of the ballpark, but 9 walks allowing base runners to get on and a couple bombs put the Oakland A's ahead for good.
Scott Kazmir goes tonight on the mound for the Astros, a guy who doesn't walk many, and we look forward to that. Scott, however, has won just 1 of his last 6 starts with Houston.
Yeah, he's had a rough go of it. The numbers are actually relatively good. The win-loss record not doing so well, but I think that could be attributed to the fact that the Astros aren't scoring many runs for him. He has that 2.77 ERA, but he's also getting that much support from the offensive side. So he just has to continue to go out there, try and do a good job of keeping his ball club in there. We saw some issues with the control of that changeup, but if he can control that fastball changeup, he's going to do a good job of neutralizing some of these big right-handed bats.
Like Scott Kazmir, Sonny Gray, who goes for the A's tonight, has been among the leaders in ERA and other categories all year long, and yet he's gone 4 starts now without a win.
Yeah, he's having a tough time. The offense hasn't picked him up either, but still continuing to go out, do a good job. If the ball's put in play, remember the defense is not good behind the Oakland A's. So that's why Sonny Gray goes out there with that fastball, curveball, changeup combination, going for the punch-outs, and he pitched quite well last time out against the Houston Astros.
Coming up, rookie phenom Carlos Correa and the Houston Astros try to even the series with the A's, so don't go away. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Texas Bay Credit Union. Texas Bay Credit Union is the official credit union of the Houston Astros. Join today. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And we welcome you back to the O.co in Oakland, California, where the Astros are trying to split the series now with a win tonight. And as we get set for tonight's game, great time to check in with Julia Morales to get us going.
Thank you very much, Ash. I've got a visitor in my little area right here. Marvin Gonzalez joins me. But I'm here to talk about this team just really wanting to bounce back after yesterday's loss. Down 8-2, but we saw the resiliency that we've seen this club all year long. They come back and make it a one-run game there at the end. And you don't count this team out. A.J. Hinch certainly does. He's our Geico quote of the day as he... Thank you, Marwin. As he talked about the resiliency of his club, he said, we compete until the end. There's not a doubt in my mind that we're going to do. We see it in our guys. There are a lot of reasons why we're a good team, and one of them is because we play until the end. I should have had Marwin read that for everyone. But that 35 come from behind wins, guys, this year. So when they are down late, you definitely don't want to count the Astros out. They just hope to bounce back today. Up to you.
Thanks, Julia. And even trailing 8-2 yesterday, they wound up putting 7 more runs on the board, coming up 1 short on the night. Let's take a look now at the Astros lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the Houston Astros of A.J. Hinch, they will line him up with George Springer in the top spot, followed by second baseman Jose Altuve and the shortstop, the phenom Carlos Correa. In the middle of the order, Carlos Gomez is in center, at third base Jed Lowry, and the DH tonight, Evan Gattis. In the bottom 3, Luis Valbuena at first base, Hank Conger does the catching, and in left field, the powerful Jake Marisnick.
Right-hander Sonny Gray going for the Oakland Athletics, has good numbers against the Houston Astros on his career, making his 28th start. Having himself a real good year. Leads the American League in opponents batting average against at .206. Also tied for the lead in shutouts. Ranked second in ERA at 2.36. But has a career ERA of 3.60 in September. But behind him, Jake Smolinski, Billy Burns, and Josh Reddick will be in the outfield. On the left side, Danny Valencia and Marcus Semien. On the right, Brett Lawrie, Mark Canha, and behind home plate, Josh Fagley working with Sonny Gray.
And Sonny Gray is set to work it here this evening. Well, it's a heck of a matchup we've got going after a game like yesterday that took a long time. The Astros wound up walking 9 Oakland A's. 5 came around and scored, and it proved to be deadly for the Astros. Big swing by George Springer to get it started as he fouls it back. For George, the batting average at .260. Production down this year, 13 home runs and 29 RBIs. And, of course, a couple of months on the DL doesn't help in that regard, but good to see that big swing. The Astros let a game slip with the loss yesterday. The Texas Rangers picked up a win in Seattle. Adrian Beltre drove in a couple of runs as the Rangers won in a tight one, and they will play in Seattle again this evening. The Angels are still 5.5 back. Another big swing by George as he fouls it back. 87 degrees now at game time. It has been a hot one in the area, and much of the time above 100 degrees.
Oh, it was smoking downtown San Francisco today. Uncharacteristic. It is warm in September here, but this is above and beyond what we need.
Yeah, walking into the booth here like a sauna, as we love to say.
Yeah, it is like a sauna in here.
Springer takes, and it's 2-2 now. Well, you've talked about it, Blummer. Sonny Gray among the leaders all season long in ERA and batting average against, one of the really tough ones. But he has struggled in recent starts, and the Astros would love to continue that trend. Ball is driven to right center field, but moving over quickly to make the play is Billy Burns in center field. But one of the better looking at bats from George Springer now, at least since coming back.
Let's take a look at the key to the game, brought to you by your Houston area Chevy dealers. Got to wash away what happened yesterday as far as the loss is concerned. A lot of outs given away, a lot of extra bases given away on a couple of errors, miscues in the outfield, but the bats were going well. Keep swinging those sticks. You know, if the Astros are swinging the bats well, the pitching is going to catch up again and lead to some more wins, especially on this road trip.
Well, it was big runs from the 7th inning on, and they picked up 3 home runs in that span, and that was good to see. You don't want to say, well, you know, a moral victory was picked up as Altuve swings and misses. because there really are no moral victories in this game. It's about winning games, but it was nice to see the offense really come alive late.
But especially now. It's September, and they have a 2-3 game lead, so they need to push and just win these games. And when you score 9 runs as a Houston Astro, you expect to win ball games.
Altuve pops it into shallow right. The game's really good right fielders. Josh Reddick makes the play. 2 outs on fly balls. And it brings up Carlos Correa, who slammed his 17th yesterday. 17 dingers, 50 RBIs for Carlos Correa.
This was in a big spot last night, too. Second home run off of Rodriguez out of that Oakland A's bullpen, but it just seems like he lives for the spotlight. The kid understands it. I'm sorry, the young man.
Yeah, it's hard to say for a guy that young, but he is absolutely a young man, and he's taken on the reins of kind of being the leader on this club.
Might just start calling him just a flat-out either freak or a beast, because he is just phenomenal for me.
You get the sense that he wouldn't be offended in either case.
No, I mean that in the best way possible.
2-0 the count.
And we always talk about how do you change things up, especially on the road. Everybody's, you know, do you do this on the pitching side? Do you do it on the defense? Do you mix up the rotation or the batting order? Sometimes you just got to change shoes. It looks like Altuve and Carlos Correa have a new set of kicks on. Maybe that'll fire him up a little bit.
3-0 now as Carlos Gomez waits on deck. Yeah,
there you go.
You know,
spice it up a little bit. Sometimes just a simple change of the shoes, the pants, psychologically, will get you in the right frame of mind.
Superstitions can reign in this game, no question about it.
Just a little bit.
And you try to just change something. See if he's got the green light. Takes one at the knees. The Astros start play at 75-63. Well, that 14 games over 500, the mark that the Astros were trying to get back to again yesterday with a victory. That's been the limitation so far this year. You'd love to see this club find a way to get above that mark. Pitch just popped up, shallow into right, easy for Reddick. And a 1-2-3 first inning. So Sonny Gray gets through and faces the minimum 3 batters in the first inning, scoreless after a half an inning of play. Oakland, California. Lineup tonight for the Oakland A's of Bob Melvin, Billy Burns. Speedy center fielder leads it off, followed by first baseman Mark Canha and the second baseman Brett Lawrie in the middle. A guy swinging it well, Danny Valencia. He's at third. Billy Butler, the DH, has an 8-game hitting streak, and the catcher is Josh Fegley. And in the bottom 3 in the order, Josh Reddick, Jake Smolinski, and Marcus Semien.
Lefty Scott Kazmir making his first start here at the HOU since being traded over from the Oakland A's to the Houston Astros. Remember, he has a 5-1 record against the AL West and also has a 1.07 ERA against American League West opponents.
So he's dominated in the West, and much of that, of course, done while pitching in an Oakland A's uniform. Lifetime against these Oakland A's, 10-6 in 19 games, all as a starter, and just a .246 batting average against by the A's. Falls behind on the switch hitter, Billy Burns. It's one guy you really try to keep off the bases. He runs extremely well.
He's actually been a nuisance to the Houston Astros. Picked up a hit yesterday with the infield in.
Drove in a couple of runs with that one.
Get an idea of what George Springer thinks of his pop.
Quite a defensive alignment. In center field and left field, it looks rather normal. In right field, it's kind of that extra infielder on the right side.
That's almost what it looks like. It's extremely shallow.
So the Astros and George Springer do not believe that Billy Burns will drive the baseball to right field. Takes a shot that way and fouls it off. It's 1-2. Scott Kazmir has certainly enjoyed pitching in this ballpark. And if you're going to pitch here, you want to do it at night. Don't know that a night like tonight, this hot weather and very unlike what it typically will bring you in Oakland. So I don't know if the ball carries this evening like it did yesterday. Yesterday, the hitters seemed to have the big advantage.
5 home runs hit yesterday. 3 by the Astros, 2 by the A's.
Jonathan Villar came on as a pinch hitter and hit a towering monster to left field. Carlos Correa. And then Jake Marisnick, who now has 9 and tries to become the 11th Astro to get into double digits in home runs.
That was a good swing by Jake, too. He's been swinging the bat well.
He's had a couple in his last 2 ball games. Hit in the air down the right side into foul territory. Moves George Springer. And out number 1.
Just saw George Springer out there in right field. Alongside him are Carlos Gomez in center and Jake Marisnick in left field. Jed Lowry and Carlos Correa on your left side. Jose Altuve at second. Luis Valbuena moves across the diamond over there at first base. Hank Conger gets the start with Scott Kazmir.
And they go after Mark Canha, another guy who's been kind of pesky, if you will. Hitting .256. We mentioned it yesterday. Canha can run. And the Astros and Carlos Correa in particular learned that lesson the last time in just over 3 weeks ago. Canha, though, has hit just .219 against the Astros this year. This was that play. Again, a little over 3 weeks ago. Proved big in this one.
Yeah, that was late in the ball game. Inning for Luke Gregerson. I believe actually they had the lead in this one, but sometimes that right-hander kind of leaning towards first base as they make contact gives them a little bit of a half step. But Carlos Correa, you can see, sat back a little bit, has the strong arm trying to make up for that. Didn't work. But a lesson learned.
Yeah, the thing is, in watching Correa, you can't fault him and say, well, he took just an extra set of steps or whatever. It was just the lack of need to really come and get it, I think. And I don't know that anybody knew that Canha ran that well.
There's an internal clock that you develop here in the major leagues, and that's probably the one thing I can't translate to the everyday fan is how fast the game actually moves. Guys are getting down to first base in around 3-3-2, 3-4 down to first base. That's flying.
Canha shoots one to right field, has himself a base hit. 3rd hit for Canha in the series as he went 2 for 4, scoring a run and had a home run yesterday.
Get a chance to take a look at our strike zone brought to you by MD Anderson. Fastball away. All Canha does is go out there and poke it the other way. Good piece of hitting.
Brings up the second sacker, Brett Lawrie. Canha will occasionally take off running. He's stolen 6 bags in 8 tries. For Brett Lawrie, the batting average at .275. He's done a nice job with the bat. defensively playing at third base this year, rather woeful. 21 errors, and he's been moved over to second base, and they hope that might help him. Generally speaking, you wouldn't take a guy struggling defensively and move him over to second base, but it's been the throwing side of the game that creates a lot of problems for Laurie.
Saw an error from Laurie last night on a pop-up. But yeah, those errors were piling up at third base.
It's that good changeup from Kazmir.
Yeah, and what you mean by moving a guy from a corner position to a middle infield position is there are a lot more opportunities to get ground balls and make plays up the middle than there are on the corners.
But we mentioned it yesterday. Laurie came up as a second baseman in the Brewers organization, so he's familiar playing over there as Kazmir records his first strikeout of the night. 2 down. Canna still at first base for Danny Valencia.
Good look at that slider down and in. See a couple pitches on that outside corner and get the hitter leaning and then just drop it underneath the barrel. Nice pitch.
A lot of people talk about that pitch as well for Sonny Gray, a pitch that can look like maybe a changeup or splitter that actually is a slider. Danny Valencia batting in that cleanup spot. Swinging the bat well. Kazmir finds the knees.
I believe he's hitting a little over 500 against the Astros. So I guess, yeah, he swing the bat okay.
That'll do. Lifetime 429 against Houston. 4 homers and 10 ribbies. So all of that in 13 games. Kazmir slips that 87 right on by.
Yeah, Kazmir is a little bit of a cutter on that thing. 87, 88 miles an hour. We know he can pitch 90. We've seen him touch 94 when he gets into 2-strike counts and he needs to reach back a little bit, but that changeup is a good pitch.
Just outside.
Yeah, if you say so.
Maybe. Brian O'Nora is the umpire behind the plate. Around the infield, Mark Ripperger. Let's take our look. Is that outside? I don't know that I would agree. Jim Wolf and Alan Porter, the other 2 umpires at second and third. Well, it's tough when you're given a hitter like Danny Valencia, a hot hitter, a cleanup man for the A's, that extra pitch to deal with.
Just got to be frustrating as a pitcher. You make a pitch, don't get rewarded for it. We saw a bunch of them last night.
I keep feeling like, as the umpires are supposed to be graded with every game they umpire, whether it's behind the plate or at one of the bases, and as they see some of the pitches that are missed, does it not set in and say, hey, look, I've got to start being able to call that pitch?
This might be another. This is a changeup.
Or this pitch.
I mean, those are catching pieces of the zone. There's 4 pitches on the line or within that strike zone box that we look at, and yet the count is 3-2.
In the air to right center field, and it's going to drop. So you give a guy a couple of extra strikes, and he comes through. Base hit Valencia. Runners at first and third with 2 outs for Billy Butler, who has an 8-game hitting streak.
Well, that's exactly what you just talked about. You hinted at the fact that if you give this guy a couple extra pitches to see off Kazmir, you're increasing the chances of him getting a hit. But the way he swings the bat against the Astros, all you got to do is get it near the dish, and he puts a swing on it, and it ends up in a hit.
And you know Kazmir has to feel like, man, those were pretty good-looking pitches, especially the fastball.
Well, if we get a chance, and if this inning ends with this hitter right here in Billy Butler, you watch, Kazmir will make a comment to the home plate umpire, like, where do you have that? Are you not going to call that edge of the plate? He's going to have some questions for him.
A quiet year with the bat for Billy Butler. .249 batting average. You don't look for Valencia to run from first base. There's that changeup that kind of sweeps across on occasions, can look like a breaking ball. Maybe gets a little outside that changeup. There's the corner.
Found it.
And at 93.
A little angst behind that one from Scott Kazmir. emphatic strike. It was actually worse.
Chopper to short. Couple of big hops. Correa waits back and makes a good throw across. And that'll do it for the A's. They get a couple of hits and leave a couple of runners. We played one scoreless baseball in Oakland, California.
As we start this, let's take a look inside the box score, brought to you by Jack in the Box. American League ERA leaders. Beautiful thing seeing two Astros on that list. Dallas Keuchel, of course, leading the American League, doing a great job with that 2.29 ERA. Sonny Gray got roughed up last time out there, hence the bloated ERA at 2.36. But Scott Kazmir has a chance to creep up on him if the Astros offense can help him out and beat up on Sonny Gray a little bit. Good matchup.
Scott Kazmir got through the first inning, allowed a couple of base hits, but saw a couple of calls certainly not go his way. Calls that should have been strikes. And Kazmir had some words to say, a little checking out with the home plate umpire as he walked off the field.
It's a good thing he did. You got to figure that situation out early, or else it's going to be a long night.
Carlos Gomez not going to leave it up to the umpire. He's going to get his hacks in.
I mean, this is just malicious intent right here.
Rakes one down the left side, and it stays fair into the corner. Carlos Gomez starting to heat it up with the bat. Has a leadoff double for the Astros here in the second inning. First hit of the night for Houston.
We talked about it yesterday. Hopefully things turning around for Carlos Gomez. Maybe putting a little too much heat on himself, but a mistake by Sonny Gray. Tried to come back with that fastball, but completely missed the location. Gomez takes advantage of it. Leadoff man on.
Well, the Astros would like to take advantage now and get in front in this ball game. Jed Lowry, the 5-hitter, will stand in with a 7-game hitting streak. You mentioned the 0 for 28 he went through recently before the 7-game streak. And it's been quite a turnaround for Jed.
If you looked up professional hitter in the baseball dictionary, this guy's image would pop up.
Both sides of the plate as well, huh?
That's what's even more impressive to me. Both of us having been switch hitters. I haven't had quite the success that Jed has had, but I have had issues having good at bats from both sides of the plate at times too.
I think it's very tough to have both sides hot at the same time. Jed Lowry during that 7-game hitting streak, 11 for 23, a 478 mark. So yes, he went 0 for 28, but he's making up for it right now.
Coming back from that hand injury, not easy to do. And credit Jed for battling through that. I think his approach at the plate allowed him to snap out of that 0 for 28 in a big way.
By the way, we talked about the tough spell for Sonny Gray, and
You mocked his ERA for bloating up the way it has. He was at 2.04 4 starts back. So it has bloated a bit. I'm sure he's not pleased about it. Carlos Gomez, very attentive at second base.
I wonder if A.J. Hinch had a little bit of a talk with some of these base runners before the game today. Some pickoffs in that game yesterday, some bad base running.
That's a heck of a coaching staff the Astros have, and they've put in just tremendous work with the players this year.
Totally agree.
3-1 to Lowry. Hit in the air left center field. To his left, Smolinski to make the play. Gomez was not tagging up and therefore can't move on up. And it's 1 out. Brings up Evan Gattis. We check in with Julia.
Thank you, Ash. Grab your boots, belt buckles, and cowboy hats and head out to Minute Maid Park for Boot Scootin' Barbecue on September 19th. This event features a pregame street festival, barbecue contest, and country music. Fans must have a valid ticket to the A's Astros games to enter. For more info, visit astros.com/barbecue.
Thank you, Julia. That's going to be a while before the Astros get back home. This is game 2 of the 10-game, 11-day road trip. One more tomorrow right here in Oakland before the Astros head on down to Anaheim. It's a night game that features Colin McHugh against Aaron Brooks. McHugh going after win number 16. 9:07 start Central Time. Evan Gattis hitting .238 now. .13 for 56 lifetime against the Oakland A's, at .232 mark. Has 3 home runs mixed in. And in a bit of a funk, 0 for his last 8. Took an 0 for 4 yesterday, did score a run. Continues to lead the Astros in RBIs. Tied for first in home runs. Second in multi-hit games. And then there's always that triples column where he's tied for 3rd in the major leagues. 9 3-baggers, raising his career total to 10.
Impressive stuff.
It's been fun to watch.
I think Luno knew that in the trade. He's like, I'm getting this guy, and he's going to lead our ball club in triples.
The appeal on the check swing, do not get the call. And a 3-0 count.
Hey, they gotten the benefit of the call there, huh?
You think?
If he'd have connected, that might have been the 10th triple of the year.
Find me a gap. 3-0 count. See a green light in his future?
Yes. It's a good way to break out of a little mini slump, is to get that 3-0 green light with a runner in scoring position.
There's the green light, a 3-1 count. Yeah, as long as a hitter gets himself a good swing on that green light, always game to throw it out there. Just the second inning, scoreless ball game. Game 2 of this 3-gamer with the Oakland A's. 10-9, the A's able to pick up game 1 yesterday. There's that spin move to second base, but nobody defensively at the bag. Carlos Gomez with a leadoff double here in the second.
Gomez is going to attract a lot of attention.
There goes Gomez, and he'll make it to third as Evan Gattis draws the walk. Now these Oakland A's, especially with Josh Begley behind the plate,
Did Honora call timeout?
Have done a great job. I don't know that there was a timeout.
Because Evan Gattis is going to first base on the walk. But how do you call a dead ball on a walk?
There has to be. I mean, if this is the case, Gattis appears to be staying down at first base, but there had to have been some sort of incidental interference would be my comment. Where's the interference? And there is.
Oh, did he make contact with the umpire? The catcher and the umpire made contact, saying, "My bad, I interfered with the catcher." Possibly.
I get that's the only thing I could imagine.
You don't see that.
I've never
too
seen
often.
that one either, because the umpire just needs to stay still.
Watch the left side. The arm goes back and I think hits Honora's mask.
Well, that's not Honora's fault. I've never seen that called. If an umpire with his right hand comes out calling strike and then hits the throwing arm, that's an interference. But not a catcher throwing and that hand hitting the mask. That shouldn't be.
Then how does the umpire make that call?
I'm lost on that one.
Now, as a catcher, you got a right-handed hitter up. Are you catching it, taking a step behind?
No, you should not, and therefore, no way you can fault the umpire. Now, clearly, with a right-hand hitter, you're clearing behind the hitter, but you still should be moving in the direction of third. Luis Valbuena fouls it off. A 1-1 count here with runners at first and second rather than first and third. It's a curious call.
It is.
By the way, that double by Carlos Gomez, his 8th now. Steadily picking it up offensively. Got a lot going on with these inside moves to second base. The Astros got caught yesterday. Jake Marisnick was taking off with one of those moves, and he eventually caught stealing in a rundown.
Yeah, you just hate seeing guys run themselves out of scoring position.
Of course, at the same time, when you're successful and do steal third base, it's a big boost for your club, but
well, that's the only thing. You got to be 100% sure you're going to steal that bag.
Gotcha. And you can think timing wise, I've got it. But if you get hit with that little spin move towards second base and get hung out, that's why I feel like if they're going to continue to allow that move, there has to be an infielder at the bag.
The move we saw yesterday was pretty much a balk move because there was never full spin on that move.
Yeah, allegedly, by the rule, you're supposed to have that landing foot land towards second base. In that case, it didn't even cross the rubber. Two balls and a strike. And now 3-1 as Sonny Gray struggles with command here early on.
The Astros are having good ABs. They've been in hitters counts in this inning. Getting close to 30 pitches here in the second.
The Astros playing their second of a 22-game stretch against American League West Division opponents. And so it's a big stretch right now for the club. And the walk will load them up. So that call of not allowing Gomez to steal third base doesn't make any difference at this point. Bases loaded, 1 out as the 8-hitter Hank Conger comes to the plate. And you may recall Hank has had some success with the bases juice this year.
It's a good call, Ash. A lot of Astro fans would like to see that continue.
The Astros have 4 grand slams as a team, 3 by the catchers, 2 by Conger. And of course Jed Lowry with the other one. And that proved rather large in picking up that win against Minnesota to close out the recent homestand. By the way, the Astros are 29-26 against the American League West. 10-6 against Seattle, 7-7 against these A's, 8-5 against the Angels, who the Astros will pick up 3 games coming up this weekend, and then 4-8 against the Texas Rangers. Gray gets in front, 0-2.
Well, Gray's a little mad at himself. First pitch breaking ball for a strike, second pitch backdoor cutter, but this is that grand salami we were talking about. Panda crusher going deep.
An oppo for one of your tacos there.
Oppo tacos are good. A little extra salsa on that one.
Pico on mine, please. But the strikeout of Conger, second out of the inning, and now 2 outs for Jake Marisnick.
Good breaking ball out in front of home plate. Sonny Gray can still make pitches when he has to. Got the ERA to prove it.
So he comes up with 3 big pitches there on Conger, and now Jake Marisnick tries to continue his power assault. What an impressive home run to left center yesterday.
Good swing.
Has a good aggressive swing. Falls behind in the count.
Just brought the hands in so nice. Get to that contact point, just drives straight through it.
There are times when you just want to say to Jake, stay aggressive, and he's aggressive right now. One on the hands, popped up on the left side, foul territory. Valencia makes the play, and the Astros fail to score after having the bases juiced with 1 out. They leave 3. It's still scoreless after an inning and a half.
Bottom of the second, and he'd like to have a start like he did in July, but we're looking at his last start compared to all of his other starts in 2015. The differences here, throwing more fastballs and actually more sliders. He was fastball changeup, especially when he came over to the Astros from the A's. That was a great combo for him, but has really struggled with that changeup lately. Really struggled with the command there, but the slider using a little bit more. I asked him why, and he actually said there were many reasons why. One of them is the trouble with the changeup here lately. Another reason is the other lefty in the starting rotation, Dallas Keuchel, and how much success he's had with his slider. But coming to a new team, working with new battery mates, new pitching coaches, you find things that work with you. He said an example, John Lester used to throw a lot of cutters when he came over to the A's, so he went more cutter heavy then. Just adjustments, guys.
Thanks, Julia. Josh Fegley, the catcher, leads off for the A's in the second. hits a towering fly to center field that comes down in the glove of Carlos Gomez, out number 1, and it brings up 7-hitter Josh Reddick. You know, and you think about the changing of sequences of pitches and everything for a guy. I would also say with Scott Kazmir, the fastball hasn't had the velocity we saw in his first start or two. Hasn't had the command as well, and that starts to kind of mess with your mind about how to back up that pitch that's not quite at its best.
Yeah, the changeup location the last couple starts for Kazmir was sketchy at best, and he admits it. It's a game of adjustments. Went to that slider, trying to make that a little more effective, but I wonder how much it changes that release point on your fastball when you go from a fastball changeup guy to a fastball slider guy all of a sudden.
Good fastball gets him ahead on Reddick, 0-2. And I'll say another thing in terms of Dallas Keuchel. Yeah, he's had a really good slider, but he's also continued to have great success with his changeup. Altuve cuts in front of Correa to make the play. 2 down here in the second. Brings up the 8-hitter Jake Smolinski.
Good grief. Jose Altuve getting a little greedy on that ground ball. He's already got a 4-year deal. Let Correa get some arbitration numbers as you look at Dallas Keuchel and that beautiful beard.
There's your leader in the American League in a number of categories: wins, ERA, Pitcher of the Month awards,
beard effectiveness,
and present sleepiness.
Yes, timing is everything.
Apparently been a rugged workout day. Smolinski 0 for his last 11. Yeah, timing can be everything, can it? Ball and a strike. 9-hitter Marcus Semien waits on deck. The A's have 2 hits, Mark Canha and Danny Valencia with singles. The Astros have 1, Carlos Gomez with a leadoff double in the second inning. But despite 2 walks in the inning, the Astros unable to get on the board. Good swing, it's fouled back. Number of finals in around the major leagues today. Yankees defeated in New York by the Orioles 2-1. The Mets come back on the Washington Nationals and win it 8-7. The Nats had an early sizable lead in that game.
Yeah, the wheels are coming off up there in D.C.
2-out walk has Smolinski aboard for Semien.
Time now for our Toyota drive to the playoffs. Take a look at those standings. Texas has an early lead, 4-0 in Seattle as you look at the score. But the Astros with that 2-game lead. Rangers picking up that game last night. Angels losing to the Dodgers, falling a game back. But how about the Minnesota Twins? 2 games back of the Texas Rangers. That team right there can cause some issues depending on what happens in the AL West.
Well, you saw the Twins take 2 out of 3 from the Astros in Minnesota. They played really tough in that 3-game set in Houston. Paul Molitor has that club playing well.
The only question for me is how much more can that bullpen take in Minnesota? They have been abused. They've stepped up, but they've been abused.
Well, you mentioned that Texas Rangers early lead over Seattle. That's Cole Hamels against Taijuan Walker. Good pitching there, but Walker touched up for 5 hits and the 4 runs in 3 innings. Mitch Moreland with a home run and bombed to right center field. And Shin-Soo Choo added a home run. 3-run job, so there's your 4 runs.
Good fastball hitting team, the Texas Rangers, I guess. This Taijuan Walker can bring it.
1-2 now on Semien. A's shortstop hitting .256 on the season. Other completed games: Philadelphia 5-0 winner over the suddenly hapless Atlanta Braves. Don't know what has gone on there. Conger keeps it in front. Toronto Blue Jays win at Fenway Park, downing the Red Sox 5-1 in 10 innings. Pirates winners in Cincinnati 7-3. And Kansas City picks up another W. They defeat the Twins 4-2. Edinson Volquez, 13-game winner now. Ground ball left side. Right there is Lowry. They'll get the out at second base, and that does it for the A's. Fail to score, they leave a man. Scoreless after 2.
A couple of youngsters on the Houston Astros having big starts to their careers. We all know that swing. That first one was Carlos Correa. Their first 75 games, putting up big numbers in the major leagues. Last year we saw Springer burst onto the scene, showing prodigious pop, big home runs, able to take over games with that power that these guys have. What do they have in common? First 75 games of their career. Carlos Correa, 17 home runs, 50 RBIs. George Springer, the only other guy to do it in 2014. Some phenomenal numbers from phenomenal young players.
Kind of a different George Springer last year. A little more free swinging. This year drawing more walks.
Do you think the position in the batting order is affecting that?
I wonder, and that's a good question. As a leadoff man, is it suddenly implied that your role is to draw walks and get on base? 29 RBIs to this point for George. Leading off here in the third inning, hits one on the ground. Semien with the play and gets Springer out number 1 in the third.
Now batting,
Jose Altuve, 0 for 1, fly to right field. Had his 20-game hitting streak right here in Oakland snapped yesterday. The other games going on right now. Tampa Bay at Detroit, they're tied 7-7 in the 10th. Miami, a 6-4 winner over the Milwaukee Brewers. Cleveland Falls at Chicago. White Sox 5-1 winners. Cardinals. Well, that's not a final yet. That's in the 5th inning. White Sox on top of the Tribe. Cubs lead the Cardinals 8-5. Those Cubs are playing good baseball. They're in the 5th inning.
Another good, young, exciting ball club making it happen.
That Cubs-Cardinals game now in the 8th. San Francisco in the 4th inning, leading 5-0 at Arizona. The Dodgers are in Anaheim against the Angels. 3rd inning, 2-1 Dodgers on top. The Dodgers picked up game 1 yesterday. Altuve takes another strike. Has a 1-2 count. Rangers continue to lead 4-0 at Seattle. 3rd inning. And they're scoreless in San Diego, the Rockies and the Padres, also in the third. Altuve shoots it down the right side, but it slices foul. Boy, that looked like a total concession to shoot to right field.
Good pitch to do it on, too.
Yes.
Not a bad idea with 2 strikes to kind of change your mindset and think about going the other way. See the ball a little bit longer, and if he leaves a mistake up out there with the slider or curve ball, turn on that.
They've got the serious orange ground grabbers going tonight. They try to come back in. It's hit in the air to center field. Billy Burns speeds his way in to make the play. 2 up, 2 down in the third. It brings up Carlos Correa.
Now batting, shortstop, number 1, Carlos Correa.
Correa flied to right. That back in the first inning. That's a pretty good line of numbers. 280, 17 dingers, 50 RBIs.
It's only going to get better. Big tall kid, not a lot of movement at home plate. Nice quiet stance.
Yeah, he's smooth. Really not a great amount of indication that he would hit with this kind of power when coming to the big leagues. Big hop to shortstop. Simeon with the play. And a 1-2-3 third inning. Sonny Gray and Scott Kazmir settling in a pitching duel. It's scoreless after 2.5.
Three. 7-1 triumph over the New York Mets. Man had an electric fastball, devastating curveball. Not too unexpected to see that guy throw a no-hitter. Here's a list of Astros no-hitters all time.
But Don Wilson with a couple and had a shot at a third.
Yeah, we had to put it on 2 pages. There were so many of them. Fires with that first one in Minute Maid Park.
I was blessed to be a part of 3 of those. Ken Forsch, Nolan Ryan, and Mike Scott.
Too bad.
I know you've been on the field for no-hitters. They're really amazing. They mean an awful lot to the guys. Top of the order for the A's here in the third. Billy Burns applied to right field in the first.
I was on the field when the Astros had that six-man pitcher no-hitter out in New York.
Started by Roy Oswalt. Pulled the groin, and you figured, oh no. Not now.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were thinking.
Count stays at 0-2. Burns, Canna, and Laurie for the A's here in the third.
I'm not convinced Billy Burns is trying to put a ball in play.
I'm trying to think of who the guy was. Way back when I was a kid, there was the legend that this guy would intentionally hit foul balls.
Well, he's taking shots at what Oakland A's fans are here. Yeah, that's not nice. Get it ready. Get it out there.
How many fans you have here tonight?
74.
I know you're not talking 1,000. I'm doubting
maybe 100.
7,400. I don't know. Drive to left center field, disproving your theory, and back at the wall. It gets out of here. Billy Burns has gone yard against Scott Kazmir, and the A's strike first. It's 1-0 Oakland.
I'm going to quit giving advice. Kazmir just kept pumping fastballs going after Billy Burns. He kept shooting him over that right side, foul territory. Finally made the decision to get the head out on one and turned on it. That was a much different swing than the one we've seen previous pitches.
Sixth home run here in the series. A 1-0 Oakland lead. Yeah, that's not exactly what Billy Burns does.
No, but again, he's still that thorn in the Astros' side, much like Danny Valencia.
Fourth home run for Burns. Ground ball hit to third, knocked down by Lowry as he throws out the two-hitter Mark Canna, out number one. Check in with Julia once again.
When the Astros win, you win. Every time the Astros win on a Tuesday, you get 50% off your pizza order on Wednesday at Papa John's. Use promo code Astros at papajohns.com. Ash.
Thank you, Julia. Yeah, a lot of good stuff still to come at Minute Maid Park. The Astros trying to work it day by day right now, but the road has not been kind. Been quite a year at home for the Astros. 48-24, and yet 27-39 on the road after a great start to the season away from home. 2-0 the count. Kazmir looked like he thought maybe that pitch was a strike.
Some good looking shoes on these Astros.
Changeup slam but foul down the left side.
Man, that ball's buggy whipped.
Kind of defines the swing of Brett Laurie.
Good wiggle at the top of his swing.
Well spotted heater. It's 2-2. And another one. Strike three called. Laurie caught looking. He's going to leave some parting comments, but not sure what he is upset about here.
You ever had one of those ABs where the pitcher just makes some magical pitches on you? You tip your cap, but you turn around to the umpire and act like you're arguing a strike? I've done that a couple times.
I don't want to acknowledge that I did that.
I've turned around to umpires and I'm like, there is no way anybody could hit that pitch. It's a strike. You're right. I had no chance. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap. Those were two money pitches from Kazmir.
One of those phantom arguments. I used to hear that about Tommy Lasorda, that he had allegedly came out to home plate. Huge packed crowd in L.A. and started pointing from umpire to the crowd and saying, I know you're right, but 56,000 people think you're wrong, as he's pointing in his face.
Those are great.
And I've got to make sure I let you know that I thought you were right. You know, and one of those things goes on.
Tell me baseball's not entertaining.
A lot of good stuff down on the field. Big chopper to first base, going up to get it and make the play. Valbuena, and that'll do it. But a leadoff home run by Billy Burns has the A's leading it 1-0.
Do up first, who's had much better swings lately. We saw him on the leadoff double back in the second, but before I finish on Carlos Gomez, 2016 Astros season tickets are on sale, so guarantee your seats for a potential 2015 postseason run by reserving your 2016 season tickets today. Visit astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Back to Gomi, who's been swinging a hot bat here lately in his last 13 games. 6 doubles, like the one I mentioned earlier, and with the leadoff double in the top of the second. But A.J. Hinch said that they had to work with him a lot. You know, it was getting to know him when he came over in that trade. They were trying to see what kind of adjustments they needed him to make, but a lot of work in the cages on toning it down a little bit, taking deep breaths. We saw him swing away in the second. You see a lot of that with him, but different times they just want him to take a breath and not swing as hard. Guys.
Thank you, Julia. Gomi, our cleanup man. Like it.
Julia's got everybody on a nickname basis now, huh? Gomi?
Well, she can tell who is laying the sunflower seeds on her head.
Oh, man.
Without looking. She could be blindfolded and know who's putting the seeds on the head. Ground ball to third. Valencia with the play and out number 1.
Not to mention the composure she has to still do her job with a bag of sunflower seeds being dumped on her head. That's thoroughly impressive. Seriously.
Marwin Gonzalez came back with a vengeance. He didn't do it yesterday.
Oh.
Thought it was in the clear.
Well, he was in the lineup yesterday.
Exactly.
You've got to know the guys in their roles.
You're picking up on what's happening, right?
Okay, so that's actually you're explaining to us how you know who it is coming up from behind, though, right?
George Springer now back in the lineup.
Yeah.
No sunflower seeds from him.
Okay, so we're catching on to.
Well, I want to see you throw sunflower seeds at them next time they're in the box doing their job.
Yeah, that's going to take a better arm than I think Julia possesses right now.
I could flick a sunflower seed from the booth and hit him in the head from here.
You know what?
I guarantee it.
Steve Sparks has shown the ability to throw candies from the upper tank up here.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So we'll keep our eyes out for that.
He can't rip a phone book in half, but he can throw a gummy bear from the booth to the plate.
That'll throw a shoulder out in a heartbeat. Of course, that's the old story about Steve Sparks back in his playing days. 2-0 the count. As Lowry takes a strike.
2 changeup.
More believable than the leadoff home run by Billy Burns in the 3rd inning. The Astros are 14th in the league in team batting average, hitting .244. They are 2nd in home runs. The Toronto Blue Jays have overtaken them, and you could kind of see that one coming. The Astros continue to lead in stolen bases. The 9 runs yesterday didn't hurt the offensive cause a bit, but still come up a run shy.
It's been a while since we've seen that Astros pitching falter.
Yeah.
And yesterday was the day.
And yet they're still first, the pitching.
Yep.
In terms of overall ERA. 2 big hops to first base. Canna on to Gray and out number 2. A couple of ground ball outs here in the 4th.
Time now for our AT&T Rewind. Back on April 26th of this season. XA Tyler Clippard on the mound, and a neck-high fastball gets obliterated into center field for a double and 2 RBIs for Evan Gattis. Kind of got that road trip started. Like to see Evan Gattis put some more swings like that on baseballs here at HOU.co and get the Astros offense going here.
It's not George Springer there kind of leading the cheering in the Astros dugout, and that's the guy I'm hoping here in the final month can find it once again with the bat and be one of the real leaders along with Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve on that offensive side. For me, it's kind of a mandate with this club that Springer be a big part of the offense.
Well, with his pop, he should be. Could be.
Gattis drew a walk in the second. In fact, Gray walked 2 to go along with the double by Carlos Gomez in that 2nd inning, and the Astros left the bases loaded. With 1 out, a strikeout of Hank Conger. Jake Marisnick then popped out, and that was it. The Astros as a club are 5th in the league in terms of runs per game. Just in front of the Texas Rangers, almost identical. Some fancy footwork there by Gaddis as he takes a strike.
I'm not sure if this ball came back. Catches that upper inside corner. I'd like to see that one get picked up for Scott Kazmir too.
Yes.
We've seen some pitches up in that zone not getting called. There you go, Appalachian League Championship. How about those Greenfield Astros? First championship of this minor league season for the Houston Astros. Maybe a couple more coming down the road.
That's been quite a year for the Astros organization. As Gaddis gets one up, not quite in the beard as he fouls it back. All the minor league regular season games ended yesterday. The Astros wound up with several league leaders throughout their system, including AA Corpus Christi's A.J. Reed, who led all of the minor league baseball this year in home runs, 34 of them for A.J. Reed, a first baseman. That could be handy, and RBIs for that matter, 127. Big year for A.J. Reed. Curveball got him looking. So that'll do it. A 1-2-3 fourth inning. Second strikeout for Sonny Gray. It's a 1-0 Oakland lead.
This is brought to you by your local Honda dealer, and we have some good clues for you today. This is a tough one, I think. 7th round pick by the Brewers. His high school classmate was Greg Zahn. Oh, maybe it's not as hard as I thought. Coached in the 2013 World Baseball Classic qualifier. That might not have been for Team USA, though. Tweet us. We'll tell the answer later.
First pitch of the inning slammed to right field. That's over the head of George Springer. Billy Butler digs for 2. Good throw coming into second, and the tag applied by Correa. So George Springer quickly gets back and unleashes. Or was that Carlos Gomez getting back there? No, that was George Springer. So it'll be a base hit for Butler, and then Springer picks up the assist to get the out. A perfect throw.
Actually a pretty good job. Springer playing shallow with right-handed hitters up. Notices this ball's over his head. Watch him how he goes back and realizes he's going to get a pretty good kick off this wall. Puts himself in great position for almost like a relay throw off the wall.
Yeah, that's as well as you can do it. And the Astros right now have 3 very good arms in the outfield. Going to get a quick second out here as Springer comes on and makes the catch on the fly ball hit by Fegley. So 2 down, despite that leadoff single by Butler, who's now hit in 9 straight. That'll bring up the 7-hitter, right fielder Josh Reddick.
Supermo, brought to you by Mattress Firm, is showing you good catch and tag by Carlos Correa on Billy Butler, who's trying to exceed his limitations by trying to get that double.
Reddick grounded out to Altuve. That back in the 2nd inning. Texas Rangers now at Seattle lead at 6-1. They're in the middle of the 4th inning. Oh, the Rangers trying to win a 2nd straight at Seattle. Mitch Moreland and Shin-Soo Choo with home runs early. Rougned Odor has entered the fray. 3 home runs on the night for the Texas Rangers. Down the left side, shaded that way. Marisnik on the sprint and makes a nice running grab in foul territory, and that'll do it. Some nice D in the 4th inning by the Astros. As Kazmir faces just 3, we played 4. It's 1-0. The A's on top. Low fare now at southwest.com and by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. And by Hotel Transylvania 2 in theaters September 25th.
Can't wait.
You got your tickets already lined up?
Pre-ordered.
How about that site?
Beauty.
Our bus doesn't quite get to that altitude, but it's a great site nonetheless.
I think next time we're in here, you should get the helicopter out and take us back and forth.
What, get it out like it's
yeah.
my pet or something, or what?
You got a pet helicopter? What did you name it?
Okay, we'll do it then.
I like it. That would be a fun trip.
We're in the 5th inning. The Oakland A's lead it 1-0 on an unlikely home run by Billy Burns that came leading off the 3rd inning, and that has been it. 7-8-9 for the Astros here in the 5th inning. Luis Valbuena, Hank Conger, and Jake Marisnik. Sonny Gray finds the strike zone. He struck out just 2 on the evening and squirmed his way out of a bases loaded jam with 1 out in the 2nd inning.
It's looking pretty big right now as far as opportunities are concerned for the Astros, because since he loaded the bases, Sonny Gray has looked pretty good.
Has not allowed a base runner since that first strikeout of the night, as he got Hank Conger for the 2nd out of that inning. That was really the big one. The Astros start the night with a 2-game lead over the Texas Rangers, just 1 game in the loss column. Rangers 72-64. The Astros 75-63. And that loss column is where most of the people through the years have looked. A.J. Hinch is trying to keep it loose with the guys, get your work in, and play it one game at a time. And it's a team with a good loose personality anyway. Line shot into right field. Valbuena gets it started in the 5th. Second hit of the night for the Stros.
Ball well struck from Valbuena. Has Sonny Gray in his book. How do you know Valbuena's feeling good? Little bat flip.
He knows no base hit without a bat flip, does he?
No.
And Conger now comes to the plate.
I think Pete Rose would have been exhausted if he bat flipped every time he got a hit.
4,000.
Yeah, 250 some odd hits. I mean, probably go on the DL for bat flipping.
Conger chops it foul. Many times as Pete Rose went airborne with those dives at the bags. I don't know how you take that.
Yeah, that's self-inflicted abuse.
And then there's Cal Ripken playing, I don't know, about 1 million games consecutively. It's impossible.
That is impossible. That number's ridiculous.
You know, I can see a lot of people saying, oh, come on, it's only baseball. It's easy to go out there every night. Believe me, that's off the charts what Cal Ripken did. Ball and a strike on Conger. Nobody out. Marisnick waits on deck. Taijuan Walker has been chased in Oakland, or in Seattle rather. It's in just 3 innings and allows 6 runs, 5 of those earned. So that's a rare night for Taijuan Walker.
Sure is.
Cole Hamels 3 1/3 with 3 hits allowed and 1 run. Angels hosting the Dodgers. It's 2-1. I was going to say LA. That wouldn't clear a whole lot up. 2-1 Dodgers in the 5th inning.
It would for you and I.
Yeah.
We know who the LA team is, having grown up down there.
Isn't that crazy?
It gives you some serious insight into what motivates some owners.
Marketing. LA Angels of Anaheim.
They're not even in the same county.
Well, they're rival counties as cities. Towering pop on the right side, foul territory. As Canna comes over and has a can of corn.
Got some tweets on who named that Astro is. Brad Ausmus. He did coach in the WBC. Mark Loretta. That guy.
Ed Herman. You don't know Ed Herman? Known as Hoggy?
Well, apparently only Julia knows him.
Yeah, apparently. 1 out. Marisnick stands in. Pop to third to end that 2nd inning with the bases loaded. Had some good swings in that at bat.
Is there a real Ed Herman baseball player?
Hoggy. He was a catcher for the Astros.
How about that?
Yep.
He played with Greg Zahn, huh?
Can't say that he did. It would seem like generationally impossible, but
maybe in a fantasy baseball league or something. I don't know.
Hoggy's honored to be mentioned though this evening. 2-0 the count.
I was teammates with Greg Zahn here in Houston, if that helps.
Yeah, but who was the high school teammate of Greg Zahn?
I do know that.
You do?
Yeah. Zahn went to school in the LA area. grew up out there.
Well, his mom was a big softball player, right?
Yep. I wonder if she had a higher batting average than Greg.
Bet she didn't hit as many grand slams.
No.
I think Greg had 4 in his career.
And I think he tried to destroy me on one of them.
Which is hammered foul, way foul down the left side.
What you like to call turbo hooked right there.
Tried to destroy you. Are you talking about the celebration at the plate?
Yeah, it was a walk-off grand slam against the Arizona Diamondbacks, Byung-Hyun Kim at the time. And
I remember that.
Man, he was running around third base, and we were waiting at home plate to do the little jumping dance. And dude, if he didn't just come through and start plowing through us like we were bowling pins, it was unbelievable.
He became a rather strong fella.
Yes.
Still is, as he continues to work doing some TV in Toronto. Marisnick gets a piece and fouls it back. They have counted the beans. It's 11,364 allegedly on hand here this evening. Carlos Correa doubts that figure. Two and two the count.
All that matters is that percussion section showed up tonight in force.
Have they missed a game?
Have they missed a beat?
Jake starts the bat, holds it back. That percussion section, not a big hit with the Astros fans yesterday, apparently. Ooh, that's close. What do you call that?
Glad I don't have to, because that's right on that borderline for me, right in front of home plate. The wrists almost broke right there.
If you do that, you're fortunate to get the palms down. Sonny Gray and Scott Kazmir tonight. It's about what you anticipated coming in.
You mean a Billy Burns home run, the difference?
That one would probably not be the one I would have anticipated.
That was a strong pitching duel between a couple of old good friends in Sonny Gray and Scott Kazmir. They had a friendly little text trash talking going on before this matchup.
Yeah, apparently Sonny Gray felt like not only was Scott Kazmir and is a good friend, but able to learn a lot from Scott. Bat comes apart for Marisnick. He'll get a new one. Bat boy for the Astros came out hustling to get that little piece of bat that had broken off and made a nice slide on the third base side.
On purpose?
Not exactly. There's the life of the pitcher. Kind of hangs out by himself in the dugout. Tries to quietly root for some offense. And Marisnick down on strikes. That's 3 now for Sonny Gray. Second out of the inning. Back to the top with George Springer.
Looked like another good hard breaking ball from Sonny Gray. We talked about how Marisnick is an aggressive hitter. He is going well. He is swinging the bat well, but has shown a tendency to chase pitches in those 3-2 counts instead of staying tall and letting that ball come to him. Tries to go out there and get it.
Springer with 13 home runs, 29 ribbies. The Astros really need those figures to expand now. Drills one up the middle. Solid base hit. He's 1 for 3. And he's had some good swings each at bat tonight. Maybe a good sign. 2 men aboard on base hits. That's 3 hits for the Astros tonight. And now Jose Altuve trying to loosen things up. 0 for his last 7.
You know, that's the tough part about baseball is if Springer takes a big hack, pops it up, we say he's trying too hard to hit that bomb. But you kind of love the way the guy just continues to hit those line drives up the middle the other way to get those hits. You want to keep getting those hits, move the train along. He's leading off at the top of this batting order with a guy like Altuve and Correa hitting behind him. It's not a bad thing to have him on base, but I understand the fact that if he starts driving the ball out of the ballpark, that puts this offense in another stratosphere sometimes.
Changes everything. Altuve stands in. He's flied out twice. Hits it to right center field and deep, but Reddick moves back and makes the play. So Altuve hits it well, but that'll do it. A couple of hits. The Astros strand 2 through half a ball game. It's 1-0 Oakland.
Billy Butler drove one over the head of George Springer. Realizing it, goes back, puts himself in a good position to play it off the wall and throws a laser to second base, where Carlos Correa is sitting and waiting. Makes the catch, puts a tag on Billy Butler. First out of the inning. Great play. That's how you don't give away outs. Take base hits away.
We really haven't seen a chance for George Springer to cut loose that big arm of his in recent times, but even the defensive side can struggle when you're coming back after a long layoff. George really looking good tonight. Jake Smolinski leads off for the A's. Kazmir out in front, 0-2 here in the 5th inning. Three hits for the Astros, 4 for Oakland. So the Texas Rangers applying pressure, leading as they play game 2 in Seattle. 6-1 that score. Half swing. He does go through as they appeal down to first base. Mark Ripperger with that call. That's the 3rd strikeout now for Scott Kazmir.
Seen a couple of these calls go the Astros' way. Let's see if the Oakland A's are getting the benefit of the doubt. That's a swing.
Now batting shortstop, Marcus Semien.
1 out for the 9-hitter, Marcus Semien. Changeup floats in. For Semien, it's been a pretty solid offensive year. Defensively, a lot of question marks at shortstop. Bob Melvin trying to deal with all those issues. Been a tough year for the A's. Team that scored one more run than they've allowed this year, and yet 59-79, 20 games under 500. You're supposed to be a 500 club, maybe a tick above that if you're right even in the runs scored.
That would make a lot more sense.
And the 1-out walk. Second walk issued by Kazmir. Top of the order now with the power hitter, Billy Burns. Once again, we check in with Julia.
Create memories, have fun, and enjoy a premium experience with an Astros luxury suite at Minute Maid Park. Call the Astros premium ticket line at 1-877-9-ASTROS and reserve your luxury suite today. Ash.
Thank you, Julia. Marcus Semien has stolen 10 bags this year, so you can't forget about him. And of course, Hank Conger, we've talked about it, has had his struggles throwing. Caught just one would-be base stealer all season long.
Conger does have the benefit of having left-hander Scott Kazmir up there on the mound, helping him out as far as keeping the runners close.
Burns liked the home run at bat, just late fouling this one off down the right side.
It's almost as if Billy Burns is setting him up, giving him the impression that he couldn't get around on that fastball.
Well, he set you up, I know that.
I was buying that he couldn't get around, but he proved me wrong.
Two balls and a strike. It's game number 139 for the Astros. Runner goes, the pitch, a strike, the throw down just a bit offline, and a stolen base, number 11 for Marcus Semien. And now with one out, A's have a man in scoring position. One of the better throws we've seen from Hank.
Really was. Shot out of there nicely. Gave it a good effort just on that shortstop side of the bag. If it would have been dead on the money, there might have been a closer play at second base.
Meeting at the mound now, Conger and Kazmir going over what they want to do with Burns. And it could be about signs as well. Altuve will play close to the bag at second. Three and two now, the count. Kazmir gets a new baseball. That one-out walk, and again the second issued by Kazmir. The Astros walked 9 yesterday, and 5 came in to score. Shot through the right side, so Burns just goes the other way. Semien held at third base as George Springer cuts one loose to the plate. Runners at the corners, one out for the two-hitter Mark Canha.
Kazmir had to challenge him right there, but I think Billy Burns, realizing he goes the other way pretty well, and you can see that wide open hole on the right-hand side with the runner in scoring position. But I think Ron Washington was reminiscing on George Springer's throw to get Billy Butler out, held up the runner at third base and Semien.
Brent Strom out to the mound. And part of this message from A.J. Hinch could be what you do if Billy Burns takes off to second base, how you handle this. You can see that Hank Conger is certainly a part of the conversation, or at least the message brought by Brent Strom.
A.J. Hinch telling his middle infielders he wants them to turn double play up the middle if there is a ground ball up the middle. Valbuena is going to be holding on the runner at first base, so if the ball does come to him, he has the opportunity to cut down that runner at home plate. Jed Lowry's in a read situation. If he gets a ground ball, his first decision is to look at Semien and decide what to do with him, and then just try and get one out.
How long does Burns stay still, a guy who has stolen 26?
He's going to be going.
That's one of the few times we've seen Kazmir with that little slide step tonight. And that could have been part of the message as well. Right now is the time to turn to it.
Canna can run. We've talked about that, so it might be a tough guy to double up.
Pitch is busted down the left side. And that's fair. A 3-run home run by Mark Canha. And that opens it up 4-0 Oakland here in the 5th.
Trying to get in the kitchen of Canha. 14 home runs for Canha, 12 off of right-handed pitchers. Only his second home run off of left-handed pitching. Set up in, pitches in. Just a better job of hitting by Canha. Pitch in off the plate. See Kazmir kind of leaning, hoping that ball would tail foul, but it just did not.
Second Oakland home run tonight. Altuve with the play to get Brett Lawrie going down the line, and 2 outs in the inning. There's the home run, and it got out with plenty to spare. The Astros have not been able to figure out Sonny Gray, and said that 4-run lead looks big right now for the A's. .83 pitches now for Kazmir. Valencia 1 for 2 on the night, had a first inning single. The A's were on a 5-game losing streak prior to yesterday's win. Big 2-hopper to Altuve with that shift on. The Astros get the out. That'll do it. But 2 hits and a walk. One of those hits, a 3-run home run by Mark Canha. It's 4-0 Oakland.
Local Honda dealer. Here were your clues earlier. High school classmate of Greg Zahn is Mark Loretta. I think we had a bunch of get this right. I hope they weren't Googling. Guys?
Thanks, Julia. I had either forgotten, and that's very likely, or just never knew that those guys were high school teammates.
Yeah, Low Daddy. Career .285 hitter, I believe.
Good player.
Man, great player. Great guy, too. Now working in the front office for the San Diego Padres.
Astros went into San Diego on that first long West Coast road trip this year and laid it on the Padres. And you were having fun through the glass there with Mark Loretta.
Man, yeah, the way it's set up in San Diego, we were sitting in our booth, and I mean, directly to my right, about 5 feet away, is Mark Loretta, but there's a piece of glass in between us, and he was not happy with how the Astros were playing as well as they were against his San Diego Padres.
But you know, a big part of that was the Astros coming into Oakland. We've laughed about Evan Gattis and the beard high pitches that he's hit this year, but he had that big hit and helped the Astros win one. Marwin Gonzalez had a pinch hit, or at least came in as a pinch hitter and might have had the hit following in a second at bat, but a big one to help the Astros win. And that was a huge propulsion series, I would say, in helping the Astros really get it going.
Oh, it sparked that ball club. That offense went crazy on that road trip.
Carlos Correa leading off here in the 6th inning, and the Astros need to find a way to get something going against Sonny Gray. 4-0, A's on top. Correa 0 for 2 on the night. We've talked about the power numbers, 17 dingers, 50 RBIs. Correa has also stolen 11 bags in 14 tries, has 17 doubles. Not sure, is there an area of his game where you'd say in the offseason, here's what we'd like you to work on? I don't see it.
I don't either. This is a matchup you're going to see for years to come. Sonny Gray, Carlos Correa.
And now 3-2. Carlos Gomez waits on deck. 3-4-5 for Houston here in the 6th. Really like to take advantage of these kind of spots in the order. Hit in the air, left center field. Burns, plenty of speed in center field to make the play, and out number 1.
Ball was actually hit better than I thought.
Yes, it was. I agree.
Initial reaction was it was off the end of the bat, maybe dropping in front of Billy Burns, but he made a beeline to his right. Ball carried.
Carlos Gomez has a double in 2 at-bats. 8 doubles now with the Astros. I've never been a fan of these split numbers when a guy plays in the National League, for example, and then comes over to an American League club. It's like they start anew in the major leagues that year.
Well, with all the interleague going on year round, why not just keep the same number wherever you go?
Yeah, that's a perfect comment. That would be 28 doubles this year for Carlos Gomez, so a very different figure. Good swing as he fouls it back. That swing's under control with still a good aggressiveness.
Sometimes you foul the ball off the seams, like just cause some friction on that wood, and it actually smells like a little bit of a burnt smoke to it.
Can't you smell that smell?
And then you get some smoke after that.
I used to hear stories about, well, Ted Williams was so tuned in when he was hitting that he said he could smell that. Well, everybody could smell that smell. It would linger there at home plate on that foul ball.
I agree.
And now a 2-2 count as they appeal to first.
Not even close.
Nope. As a catcher, you'd smell that all the time, that burnt cowhide or horsehide or whatever it was. Slider got it. Hasn't been a big strikeout night for Sonny Gray. That's 4, but he's had one at least very big one as he got Hank Conger in the second inning with the bases loaded.
Pitch at 90 miles an hour. Almost looks like it has a little bit of a cut on that fastball.
Yeah, I guess that was the way it acted. It looked like a slider. I wasn't looking at velocity.
They've got on the numbers they give us, average velocity on his cutter is 91 miles an hour. So that has got to be it.
Jed Lowry now 0 for 2. Riding a 7-game hitting streak, takes a strike. That Oakland A's bullpen in the background there has pretty much stayed in the background when Sonny Gray has been on the hill. Got that good over-the-top yacker.
It's working good today, too. A couple of punch-outs on that pitch also. Sonny Gray threw 219 innings last year. Should get over 200 easy this year.
There's the curve again, hitting the air to center field. Billy Burns is there. And a 1-2-3 sixth. Sonny Gray dealing here this evening. Through 5.5, leads at 4-0.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. It's going to be brought to you by Progressive Insurance. We've got one more game tomorrow night here in the Bay Area. It's going to be quite warm before the taking off, making an early morning landing on that Thursday day off. Astros will enjoy day off down in Southern California. And look at all those games in the AL West. Time to separate yourself from the West.
But the trip starts in tough fashion, losing yesterday, trailing tonight. 5, 6, 7 coming up for the A's here in the 6th. Billy Butler, Josh Phegley, and Josh Reddick. A's have gotten 2 Kazmir with a couple of long balls. That first one, Billy Burns, a solo job in the 3rd inning. And then with 2 aboard, Mark Canha in the 5th. Butler rams his second hit of the night. And he will likely stop at first base this time. He was gunned down last time after a base hit. George Springer got him at second. Leadoff single. Man aboard for Josh Phegley.
Now batting the catcher, number 19, Josh Phegley.
Phegley has flied out twice tonight. That's 7 hits for the A's. The Astros with just 3 against Sonny Gray. Astros get their bullpen loose now as Chad Qualls gets up and starts tossing.
There's a look at Chad. Good fastball from Kazmir to get back in this count 1-1.
93 miles an hour here from Scott Kazmir.
Yeah, Phegley was trying to do some damage. Next pitch will be 90.
Two balls and a strike. By the way, Sonny Gray has 3 complete games and 2 of those shutouts this year. Good change.
One of those complete games was last time the Astros faced Sonny Gray here. Gave up 1 earned run.
To center field. Gomez is there, well shy of the track. Out number 1. Butler went halfway. It brings Josh Reddick to the plate.
Right fielder, 22, Josh Reddick.
Reddick is 0 for 2. Top of the order between Billy Burns and Mark Canha, doing the damage for the A's tonight. Ball and a strike. Could be the final inning for Scott Kazmir here this evening.
Yeah, I would imagine that pitch count getting up close to 100, 6 more pitches.
In the air to left field. Rusnick with the play. That's 2 down. The 8-hitter Jake Smolinski will stand in. Yeah, some rough news today, hearing that Joaquin Andujar at the age of 62 had passed away. Former Astros outstanding pitcher, great major league pitcher who won a Cy Young Award.
He was one of the more entertaining pitchers throughout the early 80s for me.
Entertaining teammate, I know that. Pitch is popped up on the right side. Valbuena backs under, and that'll do it as Kazmir gets through the 6th despite the base hit. It's 4-0. A's lead it.
For the Astros. Make sure to join the Astros on Saturday, September 19th as they take on the A's. 10,000 fans will receive an Evan Gattis bobblehead presented by AT&T. For more information, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. You're going to want one of those, guys.
Gotta have one of those, don't you?
Be a good one to have.
Evan Gattis leads off in the 7th inning. A 4-0 Oakland lead, a couple of home runs. Maybe not the likely names, Billy Burns and Mark Canha. But Sonny Gray has been dealing. Gattis has walked and struck out looking. All the while, the Texas Rangers leading in Seattle.
Really didn't anticipate Sonny Gray pitching as well as he did. The first couple innings left some pitches up out over the plate. They were getting hit hard in that first inning.
Gattis pops to shortstop to start things here in the 7th.
Then that second inning with the leadoff double from Carlos Gomez. 2 walks in that inning. They had bases juiced, 1 out. And that's when Sonny Gray flipped the switch, punching out Hank Conger, getting Jake Marisnick to pop out, get out of that situation, and he has been nails ever since.
Consider the way the recent starts have gone for Sonny Gray, and you thought, well, he's just not the same guy he was early in the season. In fact, his career numbers indicate that the second half has been rough on him. But he has flipped the switch, as you say, here this evening. Valbuena, 1 for 1. He's walked and singled. 6 earned runs in 5 innings by the Dodgers against Gray his last time out. Another fly ball towards center field. Billy Burns has been busy. That's 2 down. Gray just simply making it look easy.
He really is, and he's missed badly with some pitches, but he comes back and makes the adjustment the next pitch. An impressive young man. Not big in stature, got nice easy delivery coming to home plate. Fastball, great cutter we've seen tonight. But also that over-the-top curveball has been great and effective in getting strikeouts when he's needed them and to get ahead in counts.
Sonny Gray, a first rounder. That in 2011. But not one of the top 10 picks, one of those kind of guys. He was number 18. The Oakland A's got it right with Sonny Gray. 25 years of age now. And attended Vanderbilt.
They've been putting out ball players here.
Yeah, they have.
In recent years. Doing well in postseason. Won themselves a College World Series. Now they're just cranking out baseball players left and right.
Shot into center field. Hank Conger, who had probably the big out of the night for the Astros, striking out for the out, or rather second out of the second inning with the bases loaded, is now 1 for 3. It'll bring up Jake Marisnick.
Fastball, Conger finds that soft spot in the Oakland A's defense. Didn't hit it hard, got it off the end of the bat.
And now the Astros go to the bench. It's a chance to maybe get a big swing and try to get back in this ball game. Preston Tucker will pinch hit for Jake Marisnick.
Your attention, please.
And of course,
ladies and gentlemen,
Preston Tucker, a couple of pinch hit home runs this year.
Number 20.
Well, you take your shot when you've got a shot.
one of those double-digit home run guys in this Astros offensive lineup.
1 of 10. The only team ever to have more guys with double-digit home runs, the Detroit Tigers, back in 2004. And they had 11, so the Astros in a great position to at least get even with them. You think there's any pressure setting in on this team?
Yeah, I think they realize what's going on. It's tough not to. Like we always talk about it, there is so much information out there these days via social media, internet, TV, radio, friends.
Good curveball. It's 0-2.
It's tough not to realize it. When you've been in first place as long as the Houston Astros have, to get into September, you know when people are starting to creep up on you.
Tough pitch if Sonny Gray gets that one.
Real tough.
All 12 of the Preston Tucker home runs have been hit against right-handers. Seven of the 12 hit on the road. And again, Julia has something for us.
You guys were talking about the Greenville Astros winning earlier a championship. Preston Tucker's little brother Kyle Tucker hit 3 homers in that playoff run. Draft pick this year for the Astros.
That's really fun to know that there could be a couple of Tuckers in the Astros outfield in the future.
Daz Cameron was on that ball club too.
Yeah, that third first-round pick for the Astros, a guy that really slipped to that point because he was asking for more money than a lot of teams could afford. Line shot to center field. Preston Tucker has a pinch hit. Stopping at second is Conger. So back-to-back hits with 2 outs, Conger and Tucker. And now George Springer with a chance to get a big swing.
Good AB by Tucker. Saw some tough breaking balls early on. Gets on top of this fastball from Sonny Gray. Punches it into center field. Turns his lineup back over, which is a big deal. Springer, Altuve, Correa, thumpers in this lineup. Guys that have a chance to do some damage right here. 2-out Lightning.
Not sure you want to get known as a really good pinch hitter, but Preston Tucker has been one.
He really has, yeah. You don't want to develop that reputation too early in your career.
George Springer 1 for 3 on the night. Had a solid base hit in the 5th inning. But he's had good solid swings in 3 at-bats tonight. And by the way, it is the 7th inning. And that means the Astros are allowed to go ahead and get a big swing.
Yeah, this is when they turn it on now. 100th pitch from Sonny Gray. Nobody getting loose in that Oakland A's bullpen. Just takes one mistake.
Ground ball hit to short. Hit fairly solidly, but that'll do it. Force play. Couple of hits. The Astros leave a pair. Sonny Gray through 6.5 innings with that 4-0 lead.
the Athletics, 4-0. Time now for our AT&T call to the bullpen. It's going to be right-hander Chad Qualls, making his 372nd appearance for the Houston Astros on his career. Trails right-handed Brad Lidge, who made 378 career appearances in 6 years for the Houston Astros.
Preston Tucker's now in left field as he pinch hit successfully for Jake Marisnick. So that assignment now for the bullpen, keep it right there. Give the offense some kind of chance. A's now start to loosen a right-hander in their pen. That right-hander is youngster Ryan Dull. So Kazmir comes back home, if you will, as he most recently had pitched for these Oakland A's. And outdueled through 6+ innings by his good friend Sonny Gray. Ryan Dull.
Greg Fosse was raving about that kid yesterday.
Good slider. And that dispatches Marcus Semien out number 1 here in the 7th.
It's a good sign. Good movement on those sinkers to set up the slider from Chad Qualls. Sometimes almost gets that split-fingered reaction from his pitch when he spins a little bit harder than most.
Top of the order, Billy Burns will turn around and bat left-handed against the righty. 2 for 3 on the night. A solo home run that was out in the big part of the ballpark. Left center field. He's also singled and he scored a couple of runs tonight. He was aboard on the 3-run homer by Mark Canha. Line drive, but at shortstop, just a crossover for Carlos Correa. 2 down here in the 7th inning.
Almost Ichiro-like. Burns with that slashing run and swing.
Good comparison. He is one of those pesky guys that just can wear you out through a series. Mark Canha now 2 for 3. Had that 3-run home run in the 5th inning, took a 1-0 game and opened it up to 4-0. Canha with 14 big home runs for the A's. Tampa Bay and Detroit tied 7-7 in the 11th. White Sox lead over Cleveland 7-1 in the 8th. The Giants on top of Arizona 5-1. They're in the 6th inning. Dodgers continue to lead 2-1 over the Angels. That in the 5th. Texas a 6-1 lead at Seattle. Could wake up tomorrow with the Astros and the Rangers with the same number of losses and a 1-game lead for the Astros.
Still a 1-game lead. I believe Texas has 2 more games to play than the Astros do to finish up this season. You got to play all of them.
McCann had some of those at bats yesterday where he just kept fouling pitches off and eventually got a couple of hits. One of those a home run, so he's homered now in back-to-back games and in 3 of his last 4, but he's down on strikes. A couple of strikeouts for Qualls. A 1-2-3 7th inning. To the 8th we go. 4-0 A's.
Out of market game live on more than 400 supported devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, widget, and more. Visit MLB.tv today. Quick update on Jason Castro, who was placed on the DL back on August 29th with that right quad strain. He is working his way back. He's been doing some running, not at full speed yet, but he's going to join the team in Anaheim, do some more aggressive baseball activities, as what A.J. Hinch was saying. He hasn't done any of the catching stuff, though. That's going to be the true test. Hopes to catch a bullpen that Tony Sipp will throw in Houston, who's, of course, dealing with the oblique injury. But those guys on their way back. Ash.
Thanks a lot, Julia. 4-0 Oakland A's. We go to the 8th inning, and a couple of changes as right-hander Ryan Dull comes on, 5th major league appearance. And Craig Gentry, just called up to the ball club, now takes over with speed defensively in left field.
See what Fosse liked about Ryan Dull. 6 strikeouts in the 4 innings he's pitched. He's got a fastball around 91, but he's also cuts it at 90 to 91 miles an hour. Backs up with a slider and a changeup.
Jose Altuve 0 for 3 tonight. Took an 0 for yesterday and snapped a 20-game hitting streak here at the O.co. And he's going to be 0 for 4 when this one comes down. Gentry with the play, out number 1. 1 out for Carlos Correa, who also is 0 for 3.
Last 2 games, Jose Altuve's had some happy feet in that batter's box. Hasn't really gotten on him and kind of turned on it like we used to seeing him here at O.co.
Well, he's really been swinging it well over the last couple of weeks plus.
Oh, yeah. Just odd to see him come into this ballpark as well as he swings it and not look entirely comfortable.
Correa has looked comfortable, but he is going to be 0 for 4 when this one comes down. Second baseman Laurie back and eventually makes the play. 2 down in the top of the 8th inning. So it will not be a 4th complete game for Sonny Gray, but the Oakland A's trying to make it 2 straight in the series And they're shooting for 5 consecutive wins against the Astros.
Those are numbers that remind you of years past.
Yeah. Well, the Astros had taken a nice early lead this season, but now the 4 straight wins coming into play tonight as the season series tied at 7 and the A's threatening to go ahead. Back on that scoreboard, some updated scores. 2-1 Baltimore down the Yankees. It's a final in Detroit. 8-7 the Tigers beat Tampa Bay. Toronto a 5-1 winner at Boston over the Red Sox. White Sox down the Indians 7-4. Minnesota falls at KC 4-2. They're in the 7th inning in Anaheim with the Dodgers on top of the Angels 6-2. And Texas in the 7th inning in Seattle leading it 7-3. Carlos Gomez 1 for 3 with a double. Two and two.
I've seen a lot of big swings in my day, but I'm not sure I've seen too many. I mean, it almost borderline out of control with Carlos Gomez. He lets it go.
Taps the slider left side. Valencia with the play on the run. And a 1-2-3 8th inning. 7.5 in the books. And the Oakland A's on top of the Astros 4-0. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. It's a 4-0 Oakland lead now as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Astros go to the bullpen once again. Josh Fields will head to the mound.
Making his 46th appearance. We saw him yesterday in this ballpark at HOU. Didn't go too well. 3rd of an inning, 4 earned runs.
Brett Laurie at the plate. 3-4-5 for the A's. First pitch close, called a ball. Laurie chasing the high heat. There's the first pitch you can see was in the strike zone. That's tough when you're standing 60 feet 6 inches away and you're trying to get major league hitters pumping strikes and can't get the calls.
That is an excellent point. But like you say, with the amount of information out there, these guys should be able to make those calls. big league pitchers are good. They don't miss too badly too often, so you can narrow it down.
Look, it's a really tough game when you're playing, and I'm not going to say it's not a tough game for the umpires, but you don't have to adjust and hit a pitch. You just have to wait, see it, and call it. Laurie down on strikes, first out of the inning. That's 6 strikeouts now for Astros pitching.
Just good old-fashioned gasoline. Laurie unable to catch up.
With 1 out, cleanup man Danny Valencia comes to the plate, 1 for 3. Fields gets ahead. Comes in sharp out of the bullpen.
A little wrinkle. Just a slider from Josh Fields.
He's had his struggles. Line to right center field. Gomez gets there to make the play. And 2 outs. Nice play by Carlos Gomez. Billy Butler now stands in, 2 for 3, a couple of singles. Tried to stretch one into a double. But the strong arm of the law in right field, George Springer, got him at second. For the Astros in the 9th inning, it's 5, 6, 7. Jed Lowry, Evan Gattis, and Luis Valbuena due up. Oliver Perez getting loose in the Astros pen. It's quiet in the A's pen. Will likely be back in the seats. Billy Butler, a 9-game hitting streak. There's Oliver Perez. A nice start with the Astros. He has had his struggles recently. Third hit of the night for Billy Butler. Beautiful work lining it to right field. He's not going to mess with George Springer. So Butler aboard for Josh Phegley.
Professional AB from Billy Butler. Good job putting the foot down, hand stay back, sees the breaking ball up, goes the other way with it. You're going good, you rip those the other way. When you're going bad, you roll them over to the shortstop.
And a lot of times you know that's what's going on. You just can't change it. Phegley 0 for 3. Has flied out all 3 at bats. Oh, and 2 the count. In the National League, the Phillies have defeated Atlanta 5-0. The Mets winners over Washington 8-7. Miami tops visiting Milwaukee 6-4. Pittsburgh a winner at Cincinnati 7-3. The Cubs have dropped the Cardinals 8-5. Giants victorious at Arizona 6-2, and the Rockies trailing the Padres 1-0 in the 9th inning. Couple of strikeouts in the inning for Josh Fields. A base hit by Butler. He's stranded. To the 9th we go. 4-0 A's.
for player of the game. It's for the other team. Mark Canha in that 5th inning after a walk and a base hit. 2 runners on. He got a cutter inside, turned on it, kept it fair. 3-run jack. Took that game from 1-0 to 4-0, where it stands right now.
Yeah, for the Oakland A's tonight, it's been about Sonny Gray and a couple of long balls. Billy Burns and Mark Canha.
We're playing Houston Astros baseball against the Astros.
That's exactly what it is. And the Houston Astros will try to start things with Jed Lowry, 0 for 3 on his night. 7-game hitting streak on the line. But much more than that for the Astros as they try to get something jump-started on the road. (2-0) count. Ryan Dull still on the hill. Evan Gattis waits on deck. Lowry swinging on the 2-0. The Astros with just 5 hits on the night. Only one of those for extra bases. That was the first of the Houston hits. And now a 2-2 count. Carlos Gomez led off the 2nd inning with a double. Evan Gattis and Luis Valbuena walked with 1 out. The Astros had them loaded. But then Hank Conger struck out. Jake Marisnick popped out, and that was it. Ground ball hit to second. Laurie is there. And out number 1.
Stay tuned for Astros postgame presented by Houston Methodist. You're going to be catching up on all the action with Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton.
Evan Gattis with 1 out. 0 for 2 with the walk. Tomorrow night, 9:07 start Central. Colin McHugh goes after his 16th win. He's 15-7, opposed by Aaron Brooks, 1-1, and an ERA just under 7. And now an 0-2 count. Like fires there in the middle of things. Gattis asks for and receives timeout. Sometimes that trigger just gets hard to pull for whatever reason. Kind of looks like that right now for Gattis.
It really does. Sometimes you outthink yourself. Paralyze yourself with your brain. Neurons aren't connecting.
Count on strikes. Fegley makes the play on down to first, and it's down to an out. Luis Valbuena will come to the plate. 2 down, and the bases empty. Strikeouts have not been the real culprit tonight. That's just 5. The Astros had 2 hits in the 5th inning. Valbuena and Springer with those hits. They had 2 hits in the 7th. They're just unable to get anything across. Those 2 hits in the 7th inning came with 2 outs. Conger and pinch hitter Preston Tucker.
Oh my.
strike 1 and 2. So down to a strike now.
Gee, I wonder where they're trying to attack Luis Valbuena, but again, those sliders really aren't coming back to any part of the plate. Ryan O'Nora giving the benefit of the doubt to Ryan Dole.
Yeah, 2-2 count and nothing in the strike zone.
It's tough to do without a swing.
Popped up, foul territory. Long run and left for Gentry. He gets there and makes the play. The Astros go down quietly 1-2-3 in the 9th inning and fall for a second straight here to start this road trip. And 5 consecutive captured now against the Astros by these Oakland A's. That final tonight, the A's win it 4-0, and Sonny Gray picks it up in 2 hours and 33 minutes. We'll be back with more.
Okay, Brad.